Okay, first of all, welcome everybody. Hi, thank you Alessandro and thank you Fabian for getting me here. My name is Sonja Riesterer. I'm the marketing manager at IntegerNet, and today I'm going to be representing our Magento agency and with a non-tech talk and a non-Magento talk at a Magento developers event. That's somewhat strange, but I'd like to tell you something about changes and how you can embrace changes and how to prepare really for these challenges. First of all, why do we need that at all? And how do we prepare for them? And then what's the benefit of it all? So those are the parts that I'm going to cover today. Well, thinking about changes is just obvious that the only constant in life is change. Just think of ourselves today. We are Magento 1 developers, most of us, and now we have to become Magento 2 developers. That's change, certainly. We grow older, our environment changes, and sometimes we only see in retrospect really how things change around us and how we ourselves adapt quite easily, sometimes, quite hard, sometimes as well. And think of your professional life. I only have the figures for Germany, but there it's common for developers or people in IT jobs to change their jobs every 4 years. That could be just a small change, like another task, or a bigger change, like changing your employer. And that really just requires some effort. Change doesn't always come easy. And well, the good thing is there are changes in life that really are easy, and they should be easy too. And those could be small changes, but also big changes. Anyway, you have to say goodbye to your autopilot. When you are in these periods of change, you have to get out of your usual thinking and start to, consciously think. And well, these are voluntary changes, but we also have involuntary changes. That's just life. You can't change it. You should also be aware that change is chaos' little sister. I guess most of you have a rather clean desktop or desk with all the files in folders, and they're all properly aligned. And that's your usual order of life. But then change happens, and it becomes pretty messy quite quick. And it turns your well-established routines upside down. You can't really prevent that from happening. I can assure you that's usually just for these actual periods of change, and afterwards it gets better. But you have to, don't let that push you down, but get back and get to work. So even if you try to remain some order, that's my last move, and I had to pack up all my stuff in my flat and playing Tetris in my window with these moving boxes. Even if it looks clean, it's still messy. And I'm very thankful that you can't look through the cardboard and see the mess inside the boxes. It really turns your life upside down for a few minutes or a few months, weeks, I don't know, it depends on the change. But once you get some new routines, it gets better. So just stick to it, get through it. But also, don't forget Murphy's Law. Life challenges you, when life hands you lemons, it's up to you really what to do with it. They could be just lemons to you, or you could try to turn them into lemonade, or even ask for tequila and salt. It's up to you. I've had my share of Murphy's Law. That is 10 days before moving, and that's my lower body. Spare you the face to it. And especially during periods of change, you are prone to Murphy's Law because you are a bit more stressed. Positive stress, negative stress, both possible. But anyway, you are prone to accidents, mishaps, errors, failure, whatever. big ones, small ones. That's just what happens. Think to yourself that this is a period of change, so this could happen. It's mostly because you do something new. And then since it's new to you, it's more likely that you might experience some mishaps. Push through it. Survive. If it doesn't kill you, it only makes you stronger, really. That didn't kill me. And even if there was 10 days before moving and I had none of my boxes packed at that time, so my flat was still filled with all the stuff I have in my flat, and well, the moving date approached and I was there. I couldn't properly walk, and you see my elbow was hurting too, so that was kind of bad. My parents were stressed out, and I was like, I just have to get it done with. I have to push through. I have to survive this. And I did. The moving day came, and now this is my couch. And it's not looking as it should be, because when life handed you lemons and you made it to lemonade, it might hand you even more lemons. And for example, this is the sofa that wouldn't fit through my new flat's door. Bad. Because the moving was on an evening, and I spent the first night in the flat, but on the next morning I had to leave and bring the moving car back to my original flat, 500 kilometers away. So I had about a time frame of 4 hours to get that sofa through the flat's door. And well, I was considering my options. A, become desperate. Sit in a quiet corner of my new flat and cry. B, turn into rage mode, kick the sofa with my injured leg, have some more pain, blame the sofa for being so big, when actually it was me who didn't measure the sofa and the door beforehand. So there's also option C, get to work. Get your tools and cutters and just do it. Do whatever you can. Try to make it fit through the door. So I don't know if you believe in coincidence. I don't know if I do. But I just got the cutters I had and the tools I had and went to the sofa in the staircase of the house and really got to work. And while I was doing that, one of my new neighbors walked up the stairs, saw me, saw my tools, saw the ladder I was standing on to get to the upper part of the sofa, and he realized that I had a problem. So he offered his help. And after about half an hour or an hour, we managed it. We got the sofa through the door, and well, though it was a task I didn't ever had planned to do, it was a great opportunity to meet my new neighbor, and he's a really nice guy, and I was very thankful for his help. So lemons, turn them into lemonade. It's very rewarding. You meet new people, and they are nice, helpful. And then that also leads you to this one. Most of you might know it. It's a quote from The Legend of Zelda. It's dangerous to go alone. So especially during changes, remember this. You are not alone. There are 7 billion people who call this planet their home, and somewhere out there, there's someone who shares the same problems that you do. And you can connect with them via online tools or in real life. It's possible, like in your staircase. And most of them really like to exchange their troubles, share their troubles. So I had a lot of nice people in the Magento community that helped me get familiar with Magento in general. People who shared the same problems, like they were new to Magento, and we could talk about it on a very newbie level, like, what is a catalog going to do anyway? this is your peer group, your peers who also experience these changes. But then again, there's also mentors like my former colleagues or Rico Neitzel, the famous face from the Magento community in Germany, and just find someone who can be your mentor. Magento 2 mentor, maybe. Look out for them. There are some people out there. Sherry mentioned a few of them. And then after they've helped you, return the favor to someone else. Be a nice person, and, well, giving back is an important issue. And so this is how you could do it. Just find someone that shares your troubles, find someone that helps you become better or to get through the changes. And so why am I gonna do this all? It's so, it takes effort, it's hard. And how did I become someone who appreciates change and really wants to talk about it even? Well, I used to study English literature, and I love the works of Oscar Wilde, but sometime during my studies I realized that this is not gonna pay my bills, and, well, I have to become something else really, and I had no idea about Magento, really, not at all, and somehow still I realized that I had to do something. I can't just read Oscar Wilde's books and wait for an idea to pay me millions, so I knew that I had to get out of my flat and out of the books and change something. So I moved a lot during the last 6 years. You could see that I spent most of my youth, like all of my youth, in one place in northern Germany, near Hamburg. Then I went for my studies to central Germany because I wanted to have a new start and learn something because I couldn't learn it at home. Then I went to the UK for some nearer approach to English literature and returned to Hamburg. And that's when I started like thinking, I need to do an internship. I need to do something. And I was afraid. I had never really had a 9-to-5 job before. But I talked just to a friend of mine, like, I'm looking for an internship. And she was like, hey, perfect, we're looking for an intern. And that helps. The job was hard in the beginning, but it was very rewarding. You meet a lot of new people. And during all of these changes, like the last one, moving to Aachen, 500 kilometers away from my family and most of my friends, still, it made me a lot happier. And I've grown lots of more self-confident and more open to adventures, because changes are adventures. And I've become more outgoing. I'm still not the very outgoing person, but still it helped a lot to have these changes, because each of these steps taught me a lot about myself. I realized how I cope with problems, and the new experiences and all the challenges I mastered really helped me grow up. And well, new is always better. This is what Bonnie Stinson says from How I Met Your Mother. And if you're more like a poet or literature guy, you'd say, a magic dwells in each beginning. Oh yeah. And it really does. I guess that's the stress part, the adrenaline that gets you really awake. And so this is me at my current job on the second day of work, and that's not what I usually do. We had a company run, and this is my colleagues joining me, and it's actually a pretty cool second day at work, because you meet your colleagues in a very different environment than usual. And I was still hurting from the accident, and well, my parents would have tried to stop me from running, but I wanted to join my new colleagues, and they supported me a lot during that time. They really were there for me and helped me get through it. Did I enjoy working with my former colleagues? Of course. They were great. they still are friends of mine, and I'm very thankful for what they did. They answered all of my silly Magento questions, and also they paid me one of the best compliments ever. After just a few months on the job, they said that, hey, you've really learned a great lot of Magento, and that was thanks to them. And it was our common reward. And do I like my new colleagues? Of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't have stayed with them until now. They really have supported me and tried to make the changes as easy as possible. And well, it's been good for me and hopefully for them too. And yeah. You see the results of your changes, sometimes only in retrospect. That's me after 2.5 years in the Magento community. Those are Dima, German and Magento player, and Daniel, who's now taking over the Magento meetup in Hamburg that I used to organize. There was a common moment of celebration. They celebrated me leaving Hamburg and them taking over the Magento meetup there. Because back in 2013, at the first Magento meetup I ever attended, I really just wanted to hide from people. I had been, well, spending 2 months in the Magento community, or job really. I hadn't met anyone. And suddenly I was responsible for meeting all these people and getting them to talk to each other. And I didn't really feel comfortable at all. But unfortunately, it's not socially acceptable to just hide. So I had to talk to them. And guess what? They're nice people. I made friends among them, and some of them I wouldn't want to miss in the world. They're just awesome. And they made me realize how much fun it is to meet new people. And I actually like new people, even though I'm still afraid of them. Humans are awesome. Their brains are just miracles, really. Their thoughts, just think about it. If you meet someone new, they're just awesome. Yeah, but still it requires me to take a breath and go into it. That's normal. Others might be more socially awkward than you, well, be the one who makes the first step and introduce yourself. Maybe introduce yourself to me if I'm too shy. Because still, there are a lot of changes ahead of me that I need to do to be so outgoing. So here we have some kind of a checklist, how you could embrace change and what to do to make it easier. First of all, talk about your plans. Like I talked to my friend that I want to do an internship, suddenly, hey, I had an internship. Or if you were looking for a flat or a sports group or whatever, maybe it's not the person standing next to you who's the solution, but maybe they can point you into the right direction. So give it a try. And yeah. Also, team up. Find someone who shares your troubles. When I moved to Aachen, my current location, I made friends with someone who just moved there 1 month earlier and a girl who moved 1 month after me. So we were the three of us still in this changing period. And also I met a few locals who could just tell me where to get the right plastic coverage for my rubbish, because that's sometimes difficult in Germany. And also be positive. Be really someone that you would like to spend time with, because then there's someone else who would like to spend time with you too. And that makes it easier to team up. Listen to others, share your troubles, not all of them maybe, but a few, and ask questions and answer questions as well. Be more or less honest. And then once you've gone through the changes, settle in your new environment. There's really, just don't think too much about home when you move away, and unpack these boxes. Celebrate each box that you have unpacked, and also make yourself at home, because, well, what else can you do? really try to avoid half-hearted attempts. What you do when you have these half-hearted attempts, you just always compare your current situation with your ideal or your former situation, and it splits your energy, because the comparing process it's really an effort, and it also brings in more negative thoughts. So what I'd recommend is that you set yourself a time frame, like say, I want to compare my current situation with the past in 6 months' time, or 12, or 36, whatever you think seems possible, seems appropriate. And then you can do the comparing and see if it got better, if you're happier or not. It's okay to have a safety net. I do. I still have my family and friends in Hamburg, and if I want to move back there, there's always a way to do it. And I haven't cut contacts with them. But still, I live in Aachen now. I love the city, and I really want me to be happy there. And also live right now. If changes are forced upon you, well, you've got to live with that. Still, you can be happy, and just find someone who can help you push you through, and it gets better. And yeah, enjoy your life. So, if you'd like to chat with me, it's okay to do it online or via email. And I'm also around here today and tonight and tomorrow. I told you that I'm become more outgoing, but still, it's okay for you to introduce yourself to me. And yeah, just thank you for your attention.